today we have a special guest. This is,
Martin Mendizábal,
and he is
the Chief Operating Officer.
of the school. So we also have our two hosts, Dr. Don
Hello, Hornerland.
and me, Ana Belén Castellanos. Let's start.
Let's do it. So, the reason why we brought Martin with us today is because one of the big projects that he and the board have been working on for quite a few years is our Master Facilities Project, right? And so, we wanted to talk about this and the history of it. First of all, the history of it started 8 or 9 years ago. That's when the initial conversation started about, okay, first of all, 8 or 9 years ago, our student population, we had 1,380 students. Today we have 1,820 students.
Whoa.
And that's just in the last 5 years that we've gone up that much. And so the initial talk was about updating our facilities, making them more modern, right? Making sure our students have learning and innovation opportunities. And so those boards and board chairs that went through that process, they started to put together a master facilities plan. And 5 years ago, I believe it was 5 years ago,
Yes, more or less.
2020?
Perkins Eastman was hired, an outside architectural firm they've done a lot of innovative schools.
Oh.
And so they were hired and they came to our community and did focus groups and meetings and interviewed people, and we did surveys. We gathered data on what are the most important parts about our campus.
Oh.
Like, what do we love
Yeah.
about our campus? What do you love about the campus, Ana Belén?
Like the mix between nature and innovation. Like we have a lab, but outside we have a garden. I like all of that, like synergy.
That was the number one answer.
Yes,
Right?
yes, exactly. And like you said, Dr. Francis, they did this exercise of envisioning the future of the facilities and the campus. And one of the things that was mentioned lots of times was how green the campus is. And if you think about it, it's one of the few places around the city where you have this so much green and trees, and you can hear the birds, and there's even squirrels running around.
I hear
and-
birds right now.
and
Yes.
at night you even have foxes
Really?
that have
Foxes?
been spotted
I didn't know we had foxes.
around the
I didn't know
campus.
we had opossums.
Parrots, possums. So yes, it's really a beautiful campus, and the architects, they recognize that the design at the time was modern, and it's still modern in terms of airflow and how it's
Yes.
positioned, with the sunrise and sunset, and how can we just build up from what we currently have, because these facilities have been around for 60 years.
Right.
Yeah.
And now with the new plan, we'll have a beautiful mix of, let's say, aged buildings and new facilities. All of this to enhance our value proposition and the way you learn.
Oh.
Absolutely. So the plan was created and presented to the community 3 years ago. There was a master facilities booklet. I don't know if you saw any of the plan. You were in middle school back then.
Yeah. When I entered the school, they were telling me about it, but it had already had some months from when it started.
It had already started. And so
Mhm.
what the plan originally involved is a 3-phase plan to update our facilities and modernize them, but also respecting the green spaces and capturing the essence of our campus, of who we are
Yes.
at CAG. And so we started with phase 1. You know what phase 1 is?
The middle school.
Yeah, the middle school
Exactly.
building.
Yeah.
Yeah, the middle
I
school building.
remember when they started the construction, because I was in 8th grade when it started. So I still got to see 1 year of how it became from ashes to the start of a building. And
Yeah.
I was super surprised of how fast it went. And like I really liked how the classes didn't have to stop or get interrupted because of that construction happening.
So that was initially going to be phase 3 of our plan. Was going to be
Ooh.
the middle school building. We were going to do that last. But when I came here, I asked a question. I said, "Well, we're going to lose 10 classrooms to build phase 1. Where are you going to put all those kids?"
Oh.
And people were like, well, I don't know, we could bring in like portables.
Yes, that was the
and
initial
like
idea.
like you know like put them on the
Containers.
football field or something, you know, and the kids would go there. But I said, well, why don't we just do phase 3 first? Build the middle school building first, because it gives us a plus classrooms. We're already okay, although we're stretched really tight in our current spaces. We're very occupied, but it gives us those extra classrooms at the beginning, so that when we need those classrooms,
We already have
we
them.
have them, right? And also, I think the middle school building was smaller
Yes,
initially.
and you have the lower school area. You have like the pergolas and the playgrounds, and it's a very open space, similar
Yeah.
to what we have in high school. But when we looked at middle school, it was sort of like in the middle
Yeah.
of everything with constrained spaces. So it did make sense to have this new building in middle school where middle school will have their own space, and as you will see in the renders that we have for the middle school building, we even have an amphitheater between those two buildings. So it will be like the heart of the middle school.
Right.
Oh,
So it will become a really
Interesting place.
yes a nice experience for middle school students to be
Absolutely.
there and have
Yeah.
their own space.
Absolutely. And that's one question we always ask is the why. Okay, why are we doing this? Because, you know, a lot of people assume that we're going to just expand and become a mega school with
Yeah.
3,000 students. But that's not our goal. Our goal is actually to catch up. That's one of the whys. Is we added pre-K 10 years ago. Our current 9th graders, that was the first pre-K class.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
And the reason why your class is smaller than all the other classes,
Is because it had less space.
no, it's because actually, well, that's maybe part of the reason, but they only started with 4 sections.
Oh,
So instead of starting with 6 sections, like the current pre-K, they started with 4.
4.
So that class started out smaller, and it's just gone all through the system, and it stayed small. And so there's less students in 9th grade right now than any other class. But also when we added those 4 classrooms, and then the next year we added 2 more, we had to push lower school in the other direction.
Yeah.
So our kindergarten was where pre-K is now.
Oh,
Then it pushed
okay.
over, and that pushed everybody else over. So middle school became a place where middle school is in the high school wing, middle school is in the lower school wing, and there's lower school classes in the high school building. Music and 2 3rd grade classrooms.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Because we pushed lower school out into the middle school spaces,
Oh,
and
so
middle school no longer had their spot. They're all over
Yeah.
the place. They're literally all over the place.
Yeah, I
So-
remember some friends going to music class all the way over here and having to go back some years ago, but now we all have the music class over there. And also, personally, the changes that this master facilities plan has made for myself is that like it's going to keep some things that I really appreciate about the school campus, because sometimes you get stressed about something and you need just a moment to just relax, and you can just go sit over there. I sometimes go over there and just take a deep breath and feel the trees move, and then it's time for class, and I'm just some little steps away.
Absolutely.
And also, then you mentioned about how the construction has been going on without interrupting
Yeah.
the school operations. And I think that really speaks well about the resiliency of our community, because it has taken a lot in terms of the logistics, the safety, the security, our faculty, our parents, students. So it's really also I want to say helping us become more resilient, flexible, because that's the future, right? How we are resilient and flexible to the changes that are happening as we speak.
The world we live in requires us to be flexible and adaptable.
So it itself, it's a learning experience to all of us.
That's very true. That's very true. So phase 1, you've seen some pictures now of the new middle school building, but also the holes in the ground. Last January, it was holes in the ground, and we're in November, and now you can look up and see this beautiful building, right?
Yeah.
They took like the orange covering off of it last week,
Yeah.
and it opened up, and I've had so many people come and say, my goodness, that building
Yes.
that looks
Yes.
gorgeous, looks beautiful. So the middle schoolers will move into it January 12th.
So we're on track.
Whoa.
Yeah.
We're on track.
We're way on track.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, we're looking really good. And we had a board meeting in the middle school building last month.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where we actually met.
Yes, and we have also had so many visitors now, parents and community members coming in to see the facilities, and everybody's welcome to come and visit the facilities.
We'll get a hard hat on you and we'll go over there and check it out. But also in January, it's going to be a showcase place.
Definitely.
Oh.
And we're going to talk about that. There's going to be a surprise for our 80th anniversary. And the middle school building is part of that surprise. And it's something that will be opened up to the community. So it's going to be really cool, but I can't say what it is because
Field trip.
it's a surprise. Well, it's going to be bigger than a field
coming
trip.
up, yes.
It's going to be really cool. But in addition to that, we're going to be hosting some meetings in that middle school building, like board meetings, Consejo de Judiciarios for FUVG. I think we're going to have a Rotary meeting in that building in January or February, where students can come in and talk about the learning that they're doing. Because this is one of the focuses of our master facilities plan. It's not just about building buildings. Right now, it's our job as a school to build programs that will go within those buildings,
Oh.
right?
Yeah.
Because it's really cool to build a new innovation center, which is phase 2, by the way. It's really cool to have a culinary arts lab, multimedia room,
Yeah.
engineering rooms, maker spaces, robotics, right? It's really cool to have that. But if we aren't doing those programs before those buildings are finished,
Yeah.
then
Then they're not gonna be able to take advantage of, you could say. You're not gonna be able to, in Spanish we say, sacarles el jugo.
exactamente.
Yes,
Exactamente.
yes.
That's
You
true.
nailed it, yeah.
We
Yeah.
won't be able to take advantage of the beautiful spaces we're building. So the way that the plan was constructed is to build very flexible, adaptable spaces, very open spaces, so that 60 years from now, what maybe is a science room next year could be a different classroom, because we built them in a way where it's not going to be only usable for a certain class. It can be usable for multiple classes. The furniture that we've ordered is flexible furniture that can be moved around easily in different configurations.
And we were just talking with Ana Belén why she enjoys her school, and the fact that it's of course there's academic excellence, but there's also extracurricular activities. So those spaces, as you were saying, today they can be used as labs. Tomorrow they can be dance
Studios
studio,
or spaces. You're in dance,
Yes.
right? So it can be used as a dance studio or as a science lab.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
And we know that from 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock every day, we have like 1,300, 1,400 students here doing
Yeah.
ECHAs and sports. We never have enough space.
Yeah.
Right? We never have enough space. So that's another thing that our master facilities plan tries to address, is the lack of space for our ECHAs and our sports and our great clubs that we have. We have incredible student-led clubs.
Yeah, that's the thing I love the most out of the school. I love the clubs and opportunities you can have to experiment and get to know yourself better.
Exactly. So should we talk about phase 2?
Yes.
Let's do it.
Yes.
Because it's coming up. Our plans, all permits in place, hopefully,
Yes.
is to start it this June.
Exactly.
This June?
Summer.
As
Yes.
soon as kids get out of school.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So this
Yeah.
summer we're planning to break ground on phase 2. This is will be the innovation center. That's will be the name of it, and it first is gonna have parking, underground parking, because also parking is today is a constraint that we wanna
Yeah.
also take an opportunity, and it was discussed in the master facilities plan.
4 sótanos.
Cuatro sótanos, yes, yes. And then we're gonna have the innovation center, which is gonna be all about labs and the programs, and we're gonna have a culinary arts lab. We're gonna have something like this also to record, music.
Yeah.
Media
have it-
studio, we'll have a green room.
Yeah.
We'll have a multimedia studio.
Yay. I'm excited.
So it's gonna be all about innovation and lab experience, which we believe is going to be really beneficial for the experience.
Maybe for your senior
Yes.
year,
Yes,
because it's a 2-year project.
Yeah.
yes.
Phase 2 is a 2-year project.
It's a longer
I
project.
hope so.
Yeah, so that would be the goal. Is hopefully as a senior you'll get to
Yeah.
use the new studio.
I'll teach my juniors how to keep going.
Exactly,
Definitely.
exactly. That's the key, right?
Mhm.
That's the key. So yeah, it'll be really cool. And one of the things that was important was to preserve green spaces,
Exactly.
and so that's why it's being built currently where our auditorium is.
Oh.
And that's important to recognize, and that's where we lose the 10 classrooms because there's 10
Yeah,
classrooms in
uh-huh.
the auditorium.
Yeah.
But we'll be producing 22 classrooms, I
Yes.
believe, in the Innovation Center. And they're not really classrooms. We call them hubs, labs. They're spaces,
Yeah.
and they're flexible. We anticipate having many different pathways that students can take in the future for their learning. And so you're very interested in the arts
Yeah.
and music and dance. And so your pathways might be along those lines to where you develop a new clothing line
Yeah.
for dancers or whatever, or a new studio or a new dance routine or whatever.
Yeah.
And so you'll have time within those spaces to be able to develop your own personal projects.
Mm.
And so we have to offer more
Yeah.
pathways for kids. So right now we have several food science classes in high school. I don't know
yes.
if you're in.
No, I'm
Any of
not
those?
in
Okay.
any of
I
those.
think we have 2 or 3 sections, and right now we're just using like hot plates,
Yeah.
right? I mean, we don't have ovens,
Yeah.
we don't have any of that stuff. So when we tear down the auditorium to build the innovation center, all of our ovens and refrigerators and stoves that are industrial grade that are in the kitchen that we own as a school.
Yeah.
You guys might think that those belong to Barista or whatever companies in there, but they don't. They're ours. They're going to go into a classroom
Oh.
as a holding space where we can have those food science classes, but we can also have cooking club. We have several cooking club groups in the different
Yeah.
sections, and so our kids can cook and they can do that. We're going to get sewing machines for next year
Whoa.
so that we can do fashion design and kids can design their own clothing as part of entrepreneurship, right?
Yes.
They can sell a line. And, you know, we would love for our students before they graduate to start their own business.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, how cool would that be to
Yeah. Having
start
your own
business as a high schooler,
Yeah.
and your classwork is part of that. Like
Yeah.
you're actually given time to develop your business plan in your classes that
Yes.
you're taking. Like that's the goal.
And the really interesting aspect of these programs and how you, let's say, learn by doing is also that you can, and we learned this by some visits that we have been doing to understand how to build those programs in this type of buildings and how do we make the best use of our resources. So the interesting aspect is that you can learn math, science, or any other subject, and you can embed it into these programs. So it's fun to learn by doing, not
Yeah.
only learning the content itself. So that's what we envision that's going to happen in these buildings. People,
Yeah.
students collaborating with teachers from different ages or different interests, but
Right.
building some project, doing some project based learnings.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Like fun and learning is much more fun when you're able to apply it.
Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely, yes.
And seeing what you're going to be making with this master facility plan shows me that like this is the learning of the future, that in the future students should be able to apply all of that they're learning, not just textbooks, but being able to do it themselves. Like the academic and theory part is very important too, and the school gives a lot of attention to that, but being able to apply it is something that is very interesting for me, and I'm excited to see what comes next.
Yeah, it's going to be really good. So that's phase 2, and phase 2 also it's 2 stories, but the architecture of the roofs match the roofs of our current buildings. They're like
Exactly.
the sails.
Yes.
So you see that in the picture that the building captures the style of our. We have the old and the new. Right?
That's-
We have
I like
historical,
that.
the legacy,
Mhm.
and we have the modernization.
Yeah.
Right. So that's kind of a cool
that was a challenge that we asked our architects to being able to blend our current facilities with the new facilities. So as you can see in the renders of the phase two, you can see how easily those new buildings will blend easily with our current facilities.
Exactly.
We
Exactly.
will also have a quad in the middle, an open
Oh, plaza.
an open plaza.
Yeah.
Yes, where people will gather and can just be
Green
there.
spaces,
and-
trees, grass, flowers, and it's a gathering space for students. And then when we finish that phase, the area between where our auditorium is now and where the Wilson Gym is going to ultimately be a gathering area where we'll have like a big tented covering or roof
Yeah.
that combines phases 2 and 3
Yeah.
as a kind of a hub or heart of the school, like a
Yeah.
gathering area
Mm.
where you can imagine like food trucks around it.
Yeah.
And you can imagine not only during the day but at nights. Let's
Oh.
say sports teams that we're gonna have dance studios.
Yeah.
So let's say you come and you do your dance lessons
Mhm.
at the school in
Yeah.
the evening, and the family's there and they can eat some food.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm going to try to get some pickleball courts eventually for the parents that
Yeah.
want pickleball, right? But the whole family, instead of being stuck in traffic, the
Yeah.
hub of our community can be our community here on the campus.
Yeah.
We're going to have these great spaces where they can be open up till 8 or 9 at nights so that we can enjoy them as a community and be
Yeah.
able to have better sports teams and have dance and have karate and taekwondo and all of these things that parents take their kids all over the city for now will all be offered here on campus.
I think that's something very good about like the new phases of the master facility plans, and also students stay most of their day in the school. Mostly me. Like I am more time here than at my house because I do ECAS and I come early in the morning to do more things and being able to enjoy all of that, but then I gotta go to a traffic to go to my dance classes or something like that, and being able to have it here would be an opportunity to, if I'm gonna be here, I'm gonna enjoy it, I'm going to not be having to run all over the city for the thing that I can have here, and being able to do it with my classmates and my friends is something that I'm very excited about, or like that I'm very excited that my juniors are going to be able to enjoy all of that.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that one thing that I see from CAG students is that they really enjoy being here.
Yeah.
And they don't want to go home because there's again these green areas, these opportunities to learn, and if we continue to optimize our spaces and build these programs, you will be more excited to
Yeah.
be here. So I agree with you that this will become a hub, and there's a really an opportunity for the school to become a hub of the community, not only
Right.
for the day regular activities, but also for the afternoon activities.
I think that's
It's a
absolutely
great
right.
opportunity
It
for our
reminds
school.
me that we forgot something in phase 1 because we're creating one of those spaces that can be used into the evening time as part of phase 1, and that's the courts that are outside of the high school, middle school area that are by the football field.
Oh yeah.
Very important.
Those courts, as part of phase 1, will be covered in the next year.
Oh
They're going to be covered. They're going to have
Yes.
a roof over them to protect us from the rain and the sun.
So there's so
Oh.
much.
2 regulation courts for volleyball and for basketball, and so that's going to be really nice.
That's
There's so much rain in Guatemala. It's the beauty of our weather. We have 3-4
Yeah.
months of rain within the school period that we thought of roofing those courts. I think
Right.
it's going to be really advantageous for playing all sports and for recess.
For Independence Day,
It'll be
like
a
Yeah.
that's where everybody sits, right?
great area.
So-
and in the sun and
Right, it's sunny or rainy a little, and
Yeah.
so it gives us a space that's safe, that's a good space to gather and kind of be community together.
Yeah, and also many of the sports trainings have to be like canceled or stopped at the middle because it starts raining or it's
Exactly.
way too or it is freezing.
You have to go to a classroom because
Yeah.
it's raining. And like, how do you play basketball in a classroom?
Yeah, how do you play volleyball in a classroom? We don't
No,
want
it
to.
doesn't work. It
Mm-mm.
doesn't work. You're on the volleyball team.
Yeah, I have friends that are more into the volleyball team, but I
Yeah.
do go to the training center.
Uh-huh.
But I'm very excited to see what comes next in the school, and I'm glad that we're having this talk so that our viewers can also know more about what is coming.
What is
What's
coming?
next?
We also need to talk about another phasing of our master facilities plan, which is actually really exciting,
Maybe.
especially for you because you're very artsy.
Yeah.
You like to perform marimba and singing. You're a very good singer.
Thank you.
And so the last phase is going to be our performing arts center
Ooh.
and a new gymnasium above the swimming pool.
Well,
Yeah,
for
so
both types of students.
yeah, we have like our
Artists,
athletics
athletes.
department and our athletes and student fine arts, drama, music, band, choir. It's just going to be a really nice phase. And I guess, I don't know, Martin, we had some guys come last year from a theater company. You want to tell about that? Because I think Ana
Definitely.
Belén might like to hear about that.
So because this is so important, this phase, because education is not only about the classrooms innovation, but it's also about the athletics, the sports, and the arts and the performing arts. So we thought of hiring an expert company. It's called Theater Company. And they have been building theaters for so many years
For schools.
for
Yeah.
educational purposes, and just for a one-day visit when they started the project with us, they identified some key components of the design of our theater, where it's everything towards learning and towards the student. So once you're performing, you will be like in the center of the stage. Because you will be part of the audience, it will be integrated with the audience. So things like this and other,
More intimate.
exactly. And,
Yeah, like instead of straight rows,
Yes.
the rows curve around a rounded theater to the front. So
Oh.
it's like wraparound. In addition to that, the students will run it.
exactly.
Like they're making the
Yes.
theater will be student friendly.
Oh.
So our classes, we might have a theater production class.
Ooh.
And the students actually run the whole show. So when we have our performances, the students do the lights, they do the sound. They're maybe up on the catwalk,
Yeah.
like clipped in for safety, but
Yes,
they're
of
running
course.
the spotlights and they're lowering and raising students if there's like a Peter Pan,
Whoa.
flying, so
That's
it's
amazing.
gonna be a state-of-the-art theater that students can actually run it. It will have like a set making shop right attached to it. So we'll make our own sets there. Like some of our alumni
Yeah.
remember when we had carpentry class.
Mhm. Yeah.
It's coming back.
Artes industriales.
Wood shop is coming back, right?
Yeah.
And it's for the purpose of creating these projects for the theater, but also other projects that students might have.
And let me just mention, when you said run by students, it's like this. You are running this, and just by running this podcast, you're also learning,
Yeah.
coordinating, managing the equipment. So it really, I mean, it helps the students,
Hands-on, real life.
learn. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's something really important about what you said, that the students are gonna be more part of like the whole production, is that people often have this misconception about theater that it's only like the actors or the people that are actually on the stage, but theater is much more than that, because there's all of the production behind of it, all of the light, sound, and there are some students who love theater, but they don't want to be the ones on the stage. They want to be the
Right.
ones running the
Exactly.
lights.
Yeah.
And that gives everyone an opportunity to enjoy that art without having to actually perform.
Exactly. All right. Well, pretty cool project, right?
Yes.
Are you
Yes,
excited?
yes.
Yes, I'm
Yeah?
super excited.
That's pretty
And
awesome.
also, this phase has the athletic center, right?
Right.
Where we're gonna have well, the Wilson Gym, we will do a facelift of it because
Great.
it's such a nice structure and robust and
Yeah.
Has a lot of history.
yes.
Yeah.
I love like how the Wilson Gym is like made. It makes me feel like I'm in a movie or something.
Uh-huh.
Like,
It's kind of retro.
It's iconic,
Yeah.
yeah. So on the side we have the pool, and the pool will be an indoor pool,
ooh,
and on the second level of that building we're gonna have the new gymnasium. So
Oh, okay.
one regular size court
Regulation size, and
uh,
then two practice
and two
courts.
practice courts. So we'll have plenty of spaces where kids will play and practice and do ASCA tournaments or other tournaments.
Yeah.
Here's cool.
It's gonna be awesome.
it's gonna be awesome. Maybe we'll have the opportunity to do tournament like our volleyball players
Absolutely.
who went to Colombia. Now we could have one here.
We can host that tournament here.
Yeah, maybe we won't win, but we will learn a lot about others.
Sure, for sure. Well, there's only one thing left to say. 1, 2, 3. Go
Hornets!
Hornets!